Hello, and welcome to the KCK Inspire Moments with Kaylin radio show. I am your host, Kaylin John Louis, and I am honored to be on the air with you all today. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. I am so excited to be back on once again, another week to give you inspiration and motivation that's going to push you through your week, get you to the next part of your week. If you know, then you know this last few weeks I've been on a huge motivation and inspiration kick because I am coming up on my 3-year anniversary of being on air on the radio on January 29th. So this year is going to be a year, especially this month, giving you everything you need to bolster yourself. We're still in that New Year spirit of being able to celebrate what we have going on, celebrating the newness of a year, the fresh start of a new year. And so I saw it fit to keep giving you something and some tidbits of wisdom that will help push you into this year, because I don't know who needs to hear it, but I really do know that God has placed that on my heart because I know there's somebody who may need that word of encouragement. But before I go deep into the show, I do encourage you to download the Hallelujah 95.3 app to listen to this show on the go on your electronic devices, and also tag somebody that you know. Have them listen in to today's upcoming discussion because I believe it's going to give you a new perspective. It's going to teach you something different that you didn't know. And above all else, it's going to really give you an extra set of motivation that you may need. Now, life is filled with twists and turns. And as we've begun this new year, it's the perfect time to reflect on how we can navigate those challenges and unlock our full potential. In today's show, we're diving into the power of purpose, passion, and perseverance, and how unlocking your true potential can transform your life. Life has a way of throwing us curveballs, and in those moments of challenge, we often discover who we really are. But what if you had a plan, a mindset, or even a purpose so strong that no setback could derail you? That's exactly what we're exploring today. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Miss Tamara Smith, a dynamic woman who embodies resilience and empowerment. By day, she's a Clinique Field Executive, but she transforms lives as an empowerment coach and speaker by night. Through her platform, T Speaks Life, she helps individuals and teams reignite their passion and find clarity, even in the toughest of times. And together we'll discuss her journey to becoming an empowerment coach, what it means to truly be the MVP of your story, and how to keep your dreams alive even when life gets hard. So grab a notebook, and I'm going to say that again, grab a notebook. Open your heart and get ready for a conversation that will dive into how you truly can take action and unlock your best self. But before she comes in, I do want to again give her introduction. She is a coach of over 10 years of experience helping individuals and teams achieve their goals. She's very passionate about empowering her clients to unlock their potential and achieve meaningful results in both their personal and professional lives. She's doing all she can to help her clients gain clarity, set realistic goals, and develop actionable plans to overcome obstacles and achieve success. And I had the pleasure of meeting her simply at a panel discussion and was so inspired by her life that I wanted to bring her on. So y'all, welcome Miss Tamara Smith to the Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show.
Hi. Hey, everybody. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I am doing great, and I'm so thankful to have you on. Y'all, today our topic is the MVP mindset, building resilience and unlocking your best self. And having an MVP mindset is so important in life because there's so many things that we go through in a given day that may knock us down, but it really is that mindset that really makes or breaks how you go in life. So let's get into allowing the audience just to get to know you a little little bit more. I've known you to have built an incredible platform as an empowerment coach and speaker. Can you kind of share more of what led you to this path and what caused you to want to use your voice to uplift others?
Absolutely. Um, Honestly, it is being aligned with God's purpose and plan for my life. My grandmother used to always say that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And that just always stuck with me in my life. And I've noticed over the years how the spoken word can change the trajectory of someone's entire life. Because if you change your mindset, you can truly change your life.
That's very powerful too, because I grew up with my mom and different people in my, village kind of teaching me about how it believing in yourself and the importance of being able to focus in. And I always strive every single day. I tell anybody I meet, I want to be the best version of myself. And sometimes I even had to realize that with myself. I talked about it before on another episode about the power of unlocking your true potential, because a lot of times people don't really understand what they have inside of them until a life situation happens, until something unexpected in their life happens, until they're at what you want to call rock bottom and they have nowhere to go. And it's in those moments where they really are able to embrace themselves fully. They're able to see their best self. And so when we talk about the title saying building resilience and unlocking your best self, what has been, the thing? Was there any experiences that you had, even in your own story, that made you need to develop an MVP mindset?
Absolutely. Ooh, so several experiences. There's that first mindset from youth when you have an idea of what you want your life to be, and you go through life, and life is lifing, and it happens for all of us. None of us get away from it. It's just all about how we develop our mind to start to process life and to navigate life. So I remember being a young lady and starting a family, and my life just was not looking the way that I had hoped that it would look. I didn't see myself doing the things at that time that I always wanted for myself. And whereas raising a family is a very, very rewarding thing, it is, I still knew that there was more deep down on the inside of me that I needed to do, not just with my family, but also with people outside of my family. And so, like I've shared before, the biggest thing that I did for myself was to decide that I wanted more for myself. I wanted to align with God's purpose in my life, and having a family, being a mother, being a wife does not exclude us from still walking in God's purpose for our life. There are still people to touch. There are still things that God wants for us. It's those life experiences that we're experiencing in the middle of our life that we can use to help people who are coming behind us to navigate their life, because we've already been there. They're coming up behind us and helping them to understand that a lot of things that we consider accident, or a lot of things that we consider something that's a tragedy, or something that's not very delightful to us in our life, it's not, it didn't come to destroy us, but make us. It helps us, like you said, to unlock that true potential on the inside of us, to really align with our purpose and why we are here. And it's in those moments that we realize, when we keep going back to who we are, who God created us to be, that's when we start to see, this is what God created me for. This is what He created me for. So I'll share. A couple years ago in my life, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had stage 2 breast cancer. At that point in my life, I thought I knew. I thought I knew everything that I needed to know as far as my purpose. But I started to like question some things at that point in my life. Like, where do we go from here, God? I thought I knew what you wanted me to do, but how can I, at this point in my life, speak life? How can I, at this point in my life, encourage people when I don't even know what my future holds? So I just kind of prayed to God in that moment. And it was in the fire, in going through what I went through, where God met me, and that I really connected with my purpose even more, because that is when God said, I want your story. You have a story to tell and to share your life with people, so that people coming behind you can know that no matter what happens, we have all been put here for a purpose, and to live in that purpose daily. And it's just helping people to understand that even though life happens, we still have a purpose. We still have value, and God still wants to use us.
You dropped some powerful nuggets, and I first want to just say I definitely commend you for sharing your story, and I'm so glad that God was able to bring you through that season of your life, because there are a lot of people who have been in that space where you are. So I first just have to say, just, commend you for that. But also, just to the point of what you're saying, that a lot of people miss that step when they're in situations where they don't understand things, where they're going through the trials and tribulations, the uncomfortable seasons of their life. And it really is when you lean into the uncomfortability. I say that a lot of times, when you embrace the situation you're going through instead of running for it or being so fearful from it, that you're able to really see who you are, see the strength of who you are. And even when I think of the MVP in a game, I mean, that's, everybody knows that stands for the most valuable player. It's an award given to players who perform exceptionally well in a game. It's also the thing that people use a lot, and they see the shiny trophy that they get, and they see the name that they get, but they don't always see the work that they put in to be the MVP. And I think it's so important to just harp on that fact, that even in those moments where people make the joke of, God, I didn't ask to be the strongest soldier this time, or I didn't ask to have to go through this situation. A lot of times when God places those us in those situations, he's trying to see how far you're going to go, how much strength you will have if you will really tap in to that MVP mindset, so you can have the victory over the situation, versus allowing it to make you stand still and allowing it to keep you in a place where you aren't unlocking your potential, where you're staying dormant and you're staying in a state of potential energy, because you're not having and putting action to what you're doing. And so I really think it's important that people channel that mindset and really trust God in those times. How do you think somebody really can in those moments? Because you've said that you're the MVP of your story. How can someone step into that role and really take ownership of their journey?
Again, if you change your mind, you change your life. When you start to realize, see, we're praying to God all the time, and we're asking him to show us and guide us and lead us, and God is listening. And so God's ways are not our ways. They're just not. And God knows how to bring about the changes that are needed in order to pull out of us what needs to happen, that to get us to our full, to unlock our full potential. And the moment that we realize that things are not happening to us but happening for us, I'm gonna say that again. When we realize that things are happening for us and not to us, then we can start to ask the right questions. Then we can start to set a plan for the right behaviors. So change your mindset and change your life.
And I would also suggest too that you have to be able to not just change your mindset, but then even in those moments, you have to really, you got to convince yourself. I say fake it till you make it all the time. You are not going to feel okay
Absolutely.
at
Absolutely.
every point of your journey when you're going through things in life, and when you are trying to unlock that potential inside of you, where you're saying to yourself, okay, I don't know what potential is, or I don't know if I have enough potential. We rack our brain so much, and it's okay to fake it till you make it and tell yourself, okay, I'm not where I need to be now, but I'm getting there. I'm getting my steps there. It's okay to be honest with yourself and fake it till you make it, until you get to that point where you are able to unlock your potential. Because I believe everybody has their own timing. I believe everything happens for a reason. And we get some things in some seasons of our lives, and we don't get things in other seasons. People leave in some of our seasons of our lives, some people stay. Everything in our life happens for a divine reason. And it's being able to trust that that situation that happened, or that decision that happened, is really building you to the place where you can unlock that potential inside of you.
And it's what is that work? Like, what is that effort that you're willing to commit to? MVP doesn't become the most valuable player just because they want to be the most valuable player. There's some work that is put into that. It's we have to realize with any objective that we have in life, it's more about the steps we're going to take to accomplish that. Like, how are we going to set a plan for ourselves? And I believe that when we're setting plans that are specific, how specific are we being with that plan? Are we setting things that are measurable for ourselves? Are we setting things that are achievable? We're all at different places in our life. Your journey doesn't need to look like someone else's journey, but set a goal that's achievable for you. And sometimes we just feel like it's go big or go home. And sometimes we'll feel like if we're not there yet, that we just fall back and we don't do anything. But deciding to take a small step is better than not taking a step at all. How can you cultivate numerous small steps to lead to the bigger picture? So definitely leaning into setting specific goals for yourself, measurable goals for yourself, achievable, relevant, and time-based goals for yourself.
Them SMART goals will do it every time. We learn them, at least for me, in middle
Absolutely.
school. And they will do it every single time. I think even for those who are listening, and I've been talking about preparing yourself for the new year. Okay, maybe you didn't have an MVP mindset last year. Maybe you had a lot of life situations that happened and you played the victim card, or you played the woe is me card. Because it's okay to feel the things when they come. But now that you're in a new year, take the newness. I keep saying that every show. Take the newness and embrace it into something beautiful. Because when you put in the work, when you work on yourself, if you had a situation where you just got out of a heartbreak, or you just lost somebody in your family, or you're dealing with some level of just grief or hurt, you do have to do the work within yourself, whether that's physically, emotionally, or spiritually, to be able to get yourself into a better mindset where you're able to attack the situation differently as you move on in life. There are going to be times where you don't understand everything, but you have to be able to ask yourself, did I really put in the work? Did I evaluate what was in my life? Did I evaluate my triggers? Did I know what makes me happy and what doesn't? Have you really taken the time to sit with yourself and really learn from the situations that you went through, so that when you go into something else, or when you meet somebody else and they're going through the same thing, you have the same words and the same encouragement to be able to give to them? So you really do have to work on that mindset. But I do want to ask as well, even when we're talking about, building that mindset, a lot of times life happens really fast, and we try to just keep going and keep doing things and not necessarily address what's going on. And even in the moments where life gets hard, sometimes we become a little discouraged and we don't keep moving. Like you said, even when you were dealing with that breast cancer diagnosis and just kind of asking God, how am I supposed to keep moving on and inspiring other people when I don't know what to do with myself? How do you personally stay motivated and vibrant when life throws challenges at you every single day, even though you're an empowerment coach?
Prayer. Prayer. I was thinking about that this morning. There is nothing, Kaylin, that I would ever be able to do if I didn't put God first in my life. If I did not wake up every day and go to the source of everything that I need, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I have a big life. I mean, I have a lot of hats to wear, and there's no way I would be able to do that if I didn't go to God first, if I didn't go to pray. And we talk about refresh and renew. That's where it starts. Going to God, praying to Him, asking for that refresh and that renew. And He does something in our spirit that just can change. You can go to bed one way and wake up another. So definitely that is how I do it. Taking the time to make sure I give myself what I need, taking care of me first. Because if I don't do that, then I wouldn't be able to be anything for anyone. I wouldn't be able to be a mother. I wouldn't be able to give my kids what they need. I wouldn't be able to go into my job and help people tap into finding their potential and set goals for themselves and help them develop and do the things that they need to do on their jobs. I wouldn't be able to do all of that. So definitely, I have to find that quiet time. And I like nature. Sometimes I'll get up in the morning and I'll put my headphones on and I'll go for a walk and I'll just let the music minister to me and just really enjoy God's creation in the world and just let God speak to me through His creation and just be renewed and refreshed and ready to take on anything.
And that's so good because everybody has to have their outlet, especially when you're in this. I'm going to say this to those who don't know because you are in motivational speaking. I've been motivational speaking for a few years now too. And a lot of people, I have people who ask me all day, every day, how do you keep yourself positive every day? Or how do you always know how to bring the light into the room? And like you said, it really is God because I go by, of course, on here, I'm myself, Kaylin John Louis, but those who also listen, they hear Inspiring Moments with Kaylin, or when I'm on 90.5, they hear the Inspiring K. So everybody thinks Inspiring K has to inspire you 100% of the day. And let me be honest, there's a lot of days where you wake up and have to say, I don't know how I'm going to do this for myself, or it's so hard. And I have people, the thing that helps me that I will always encourage people is get a consistent friend group that's going to re-energize you. Because for me, I pour so much energy out into other people. I'm filling other people's cup that I need other people in my life that when I'm on E, when I am at my last bit of energy, they're able to recharge me. And it doesn't feel like when I'm around them, they're draining the energy or they're asking more of me. They allow me to be myself 100% authentically, unapologetically, and being able to be around those people who will uplift me in moments where I don't necessarily know what I'm going through, or I may not understand where I'm headed. They're still there to say, it's okay. We're going to push to the next moment. And even if you don't understand it, we're here. Those are the people that I appreciate. And that's the thing that helps me refocus, whether it's my parents or it's my friends. Those are the things that help my mind stay positive because they're my why. I remember why I'm doing it. And to those listening, sometimes you do have to go back to your why when you're going through life, because that's what the MVP does. They have to ask
Absolutely.
themselves, why am I playing this harder? Why am I working this hard? Because I have
All the
goals
time.
higher.
All the
It's
time.
a
All the
why.
time.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to channel that in everything that you do. That's why I love when you said you're the MVP of your story, because that's a great mindset to have. Sometimes we get so defeated or we let one failure in life dictate the rest of our future. And there's so much more that we can do. But I know I just got excited about that. But are there any strategies or different tips that you could give to listeners right now to kind of help reignite their fire and stay committed to their goals in this new year?
Absolutely. The first thing is just realizing that you have purpose, that we all have purpose, and there is a bigger plan for your life. And if people feel that they are somewhere that they don't want to be right then and right there, I like to say nothing happens by accident, but everything by design. Because even if you're somewhere where you don't feel like you should be, trust me, there's something that you're learning. God positioned you there for a reason, and you're getting some information that when you move into the next season of your life, that you will be able to use that. And one thing I want to say, because when you were talking about in order to keep going, having people around you who surround you that push you and help you keep going, that is real. And one thing I want to say about that too is you have to be intentional about that thing. You have to be intentional about the people that you surround yourself with, because you might be feeling good right now, but there's going to be those times where, hey, even Jesus had to have somebody help him bear his cross. So who's around you helping you bear your cross? That's going to be the biggest thing, because life is happening. And one of the biggest things that make people lose sight of their dreams is life. They get in survival mode. So now it's just, I need to take care of my family. I need to do what I have to do to live day by day. And if you're not intentional about setting yourself up for success, not just with the things that you do specifically, but who are the people around you? Who's planted around you? Because if you've got somebody around you who's going to say, oh, that was for you when you was young, you don't have to do that now. But somebody who's going to say, you know what, God's got a plan for your life. Don't you give up on that dream. Don't you stop. What can you do today to work towards that? What can I do to help you work towards that? What do we need to do to get you in that space where you're excited? Remember, God gave us all gifts, and how are you going to use yours? And how can I support that? And so that's what I'm here for. And hopefully we're being intentional about surrounding ourselves with people who want to see us succeed. You know what I'm saying? We want to succeed, but are we also surrounding ourselves with people who expect great things for themselves and for you as well?
That's huge. And another thing I want to add, even when we're talking about the MVP mindset, I also do want you to know that even when you're in the space where you may not understand things and you have to build yourself up, as the MVP, there are going to be a lot of times where things don't make sense, where you don't understand what's going on, but you have to have crazy faith in yourself, in your teammates, in the goal and the vision that God has given you to play it out, even when you think it's crazy, even when you don't understand. Or like you said earlier, people may tell you, oh, it's not going to work out, or this is something that you thought of a long time ago. Don't stop, because that one thing that you keep holding on to, or the one thing that God keeps reminding you through people, through things you see on social media, could be the very thing that saved somebody's life and you would have never known. And to those who may not be spiritual listening, it's not even just a spiritual thing. There's so many things in life that your life story, your different situations that you go through, the things that you tell people, your conversations, small things like that really can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So you have to be intentional about using yourself in the right moments. If somebody comes up to you, I always encourage people, be the light that somebody needs, because you never know what they're going through behind closed doors. They can have a son of people who are rude to them every day. Give them a smile. Give them a compliment. It takes nothing to build somebody up, because everybody's going through the journey of trying to discover their best self. But they're all going through stuff, and we got to be able to help each other so that we set ourselves up in the right spaces.
Absolutely. And who's stagnant and who's unmotivated and who hasn't stepped into their purpose because we haven't stepped into ours.
Mm. Y'all heard that right there. This time goes by way too fast, because I'm just like, we've been talking and we've been rolling. But y'all, this is just a taste. I hope y'all are feeling the encouragement, because this is exactly why I wanted to have Miss Smith on the show. I love all the stuff that she talks about and how encouraging she is. And I wanted to bring her on this platform because I feel like, just like you all may benefit from hearing me, you could benefit from hearing from somebody else too. So can you kind of shout out with the audience where people can find you, just so that if they're wondering, how can I get in contact? I want to be able to bounce some ideas, or I just need some words of encouragement. How can they connect with you?
Absolutely. I would absolutely love that. That is my passion, to inspire, to speak life, to encourage and uplift people. I am here for that. So if anyone wanted to reach out to me, they could find me on Instagram under T Speaks Life. I have a link tree link that they could click in my bio if they wanted to set an appointment for a consultation or some counseling sessions.
Y'all, please get into with that. Use those resources. I bring these resources on here because Even if you don't know where they are, I want to be that hub for you where you can find those things. But y'all, I'm sorry the time ran out. We're coming up on time to wrap up, but I do appreciate every single person for tuning in today. If you didn't hear this, the conversation was the MVP mindset, and I encourage you to really share this with some people in your life, because this could be something that they need to bolster them into their year, to bolster them into the best version of themselves and unlock that potential within that they never thought they had. But I do encourage you to please connect with me on all my social media platforms. You can subscribe to the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin YouTube channel and turn on your post notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Kaylin Cares 15 and Facebook and LinkedIn at Kaylin's Caring Connection. And by all means, go to the website, which is www.kaylinscaringconnection.com. Inspiring Moments is right up in there, but the whole passion for my life is to speak life into others and be that light that will brighten up the world. And so I really hope that you all stay tuned. I do have some stuff upcoming with Kaylin's Caring Connection, so please be on the lookout. But as I wrap up this show, I always want you to remember one thing: you are loved, you are enough, and you matter. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. Until next time, be blessed.